Despite being one of the most controversial figures of the 90s, Mike Tyson is almost universally beloved these days and heralded as an icon of boxing. If not an overall legend of American culture, most people would not go out of their way to try and demean his accomplishments, even if they feel that the moniker of being the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time that's often attributed to him is somewhat up for debate. It's a matter of respect, really, and it's not like Mike is going around and calling himself that. He's been overwhelmingly humble about his career for well over a decade now, but Brendan Schaub is not most people. And for some reason, he always goes out of his way to share how much of a superior fighter he is to Mike Tyson, despite nobody ever really asking that question.
Yeah, I saw some clip on me and Mike Tyson just having a disagreement. Somehow it was like, does Brendan Schaub really think he can beat up Mike Tyson?
Well, I'll answer it. Want me to answer it?
It's like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, man. I'm trying to be cool. But if you know anything about fighting,
Mike Tyson would know that.
He knows
now,
that.
if you put on gloves in his prime, obviously you're going to sleep.
No, I'm talking right now.
If
he walked in here,
if it's fighting,
it wouldn't last over a minute.
Well, you'd grab his legs and then it'd be a situation.
It's so stupid.
It's no disrespect at the great.
No,
Mike
but
Tyson.
I think as people grew up on him and like, oh, he was the scariest man in the world. Yes, when he was 19, that guy was a monster. Still not top 5, but he was a monster. But when it comes to actual like fighting, we just have a different set of skills.
Correct.
Yes, theoretically speaking, he could beat up a 59-year-old man who weighs 40 pounds less than him, doesn't know how to grapple, and whose knees are in such bad shape that he's sometimes forced to walk with a cane. But vocalizing it in a completely unprompted way is a bit of a weird move, especially considering the fact that not only has Mike Tyson made it clear that he dislikes him in the past, something that we'll touch on in just a bit, but he previously did Brandon several favors, like appearing on his Food Truck Diaries show and featuring him as a co-host for his podcast with Francis Ngannou. And sure, he might have not been the one that directly requested for Schaub to be there, but you'd think that after going back on every cheap jab he threw at Tyson on his podcast when the two were actually face to face, and honestly acting like a bit of a fanboy, he'd have enough self-awareness not to go back to trashing him for no reason.
I don't even have him in my top 5 of all-time heavyweights.
You're cemented, man. Like, you're good. Like, every person on this planet thinks Mike Tyson's one of the baddest motherfuckers ever do it.
Name the best guys beat. Spinks and go. There we go. And then when he fought really good guys, he lost.
If Mike Tyson tells me something about boxing, I'm listening to Mike Tyson.
I don't care what he says. Who gives a what Mike Tyson says?
I don't believe that Schaub is trying to be disrespectful, but he has so little social awareness that he's completely oblivious to the reality of how his words are being perceived, and is compounded by the fact that he speaks from a position of authority while not actually knowing what he's talking about. I don't really watch his fight predictions, but from what little I have seen, I feel fairly confident in saying that Brendan Schaub doesn't know anything about boxing past the most recognizable names. His takes are always surface level, he does no research, and he believes that the only thing he needs to sound knowledgeable is to be a contrarian. So when he unloads his opinions, they almost always come out sounding ignorant and insulting. It doesn't help that what he says sways like the wind, so he can give two statements that completely contradict one another because he never really believed what he was saying in the first place. And that quality is not exclusive to fight predictions.
How many fights you been in?
I couldn't even count.
I know you. I know a lot of people. You grew up in I know your personality. You weren't street fighting all the time.
I was street fighting. I was street fighting with my brother. The neighborhood we grew up in.
Sure, your brother.
It's the way we grew up. B.
Have you ever knocked someone out before in just a fist fight or anything
never,
like that?
Never been in a street fight. Nothing.
No, really? You've never been?
No.
In my opinion, Brendan is trying to be the Stephen A. Smith of combat sports, but the difference is that Stephen A. Smith is actually knowledgeable when it comes to basketball, and when Stephen A. tried to pull off being an MMA analyst on short notice, he got ridiculed and dismissed by both fans and commentators alike. And it would be one thing if Schaub was just some guy on the internet copying his favorite on-air personality, but he's a former fighter himself that has actual relationships with these people and has benefited financially from a lot of them appearing on his platform. So trading those connections for a couple of thousand views on YouTube just because you want to be an edgelord is an absolutely perplexing move.
And then we also forget Tyson fought Roy Jones, and that was a disaster.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of shape he was in then versus now, but Father Time accelerates.
4 years ago, Brian.
Yeah.
So you think he's faster?
I don't.
No.
The situation between Tyson and Schaub almost reached a critical point when the two participated in a Super Bowl live stream alongside Daniel Cormier and Brendan Marshall, with Tyson getting mad enough to stare down Schaub while Brendan did everything in his power to avoid eye contact. Did you know that children are being diagnosed with serious conditions like type 2 diabetes and non-alcohol related fatty liver disease, and research is potentially linking ultra-processed foods to these outcomes? Morgan & Morgan is stepping in to fight to hold food companies accountable. With decades of experience fighting large corporations, Morgan & Morgan is ready to stand up for families who deserve justice. If your child under 21 has been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or fatty liver disease, hit the link in my bio to learn more. It takes only a few minutes to see if you have a case, and you can do it all from your phone. It all started with Tyson explaining to Daniel Cormier how he went from being over 300 pounds to his current weight in the low 200s. For some reason, Brendan decided to chime in with a very dismissive tone, talking to Tyson as if he was a teenager at his local Planet Fitness, and not the youngest heavyweight champion in boxing history, and throwing a jab about him being out of breath while running on a treadmill due to his smoking habits.
How you got in shape like that? You were heavy for a while, champ. You got in shape, like real shape.
I did
Not running.
stem cell research. That's what it is, stem cell.
Okay. And that's how you got in shape, though?
Yes.
You running a lot, Mike?
Yeah, on the treadmill.
Treadmill.
I bet you're huffing with the feet.
Brendan seemed oblivious to the fact that his attitude was clearly getting on Tyson's nerves, and DC actually felt the need to intervene and warn Schaub about what he was doing. And you'd think that this would be enough for him to take a step back and reassess his behavior, but all it did was embolden him to tell DC that he'd be able to take care of Tyson with a double leg takedown if it gets out of hand.
He'll get mad at you, bro, and then once he gets mad, it's over. Once he gets mad, it's over.
I got him now. He's slow. Bam.
Yeah, you don't want those problems.
No, bro. You don't want those Mike Tyson problems.
Nothing a double leg can't figure out.
Still clearly unable to read the room, Schaub went a step further when Brendan Marshall brought up a hypothetical matchup between Mike Tyson and Tyson Fury, who was named after him, by telling Mike that he believes that Fury would beat him.
Mike Tyson in his prime versus Fury in his prime. Who wins, Mike? That's the question.
Mike, before you answer, this is no disrespect to me.
He big, Mike.
Technically wise, Fury can go defense, his footwork, he's big. To me, as far as technique wise, Fury's the best we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
What you think, Mike?
Tyson hits the hardest we've ever had.
Mike,
He might try to lean on you. Mike try to grab you, lean on you.
I don't know.
He's real good at that,
You
right?
know, Mike.
Fury's
I'm
really good at
tired of you being so honorable, so
Fury's big, bro. Fury's
respectable,
300
so
pounds.
humble. Fury in his prime, Tyson in his prime. Who wins? Tell the people the truth. Listen. Just him being Tyson Fury shows my greatness.
You know, they did name him after Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Shows my greatness.
Yeah, shows his greatness.
No,
hey, that's
they
good.
named him after Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike, that's a great answer, Mike.
I don't want to know. I don't care if he could beat me or not. He named after me. His name is Tyson.
His name is Tyson.
And his daddy, he could beat me.
Game over.
He could beat me. I don't care. His name is Tyson. Named after the greatest fighter ever lived.
Greatest fight ever lived. Right there.
At this point, you could literally see the anger on Mike Tyson's face, and he proceeded to stand up, walk across the couch to where Brendan was sitting, put his leg on the table, and stare him down while eating a piece of fruit. But Schaub finally seems to find a tiny bit of situational awareness and kept his head turned, not daring to glance in Mike's direction.
I'm done.
Officially retired.
Man, I retired 2 years ago almost.
Never coming back.
I ain't coming back.
DC's crushing.
You done.
I want to do this with you.
All right.
Bubba Watson?
Hey, Yuri, we love you, brother. We're rooting for you. I'll talk to you when I get out of here. We got Bubba Wallace, NASCAR legend, and Bush coming up right now.
Brendan Schaub gets hated on a lot, and in my opinion, sometimes it goes way overboard, but in this situation with Tyson, he is definitely 100% to blame. Not only does he constantly go out of his way to challenge and discredit Mike while having financially benefited from being associated with him, he does it in a needlessly disrespectful manner while claiming that he means no disrespect. And I don't know if he feels like what he says on his podcast is inaccessible or irrelevant to any of his other endeavors, but people listen person and they don't forget, so he shouldn't be surprised if somebody confronts him in person, especially if it's somebody that has a history of being deranged like Mike Tyson. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like the video if you liked it, and if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it. And if you want to support this channel further, become a member by hitting join if you're on Android or desktop, or the link in the description.